Hi Capricorn, welcome to your week ahead tarot with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, my readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Cappy, this is for you. And I always advise that you watch all three to get a clearer, more complete picture of how they're going to speak to you. With that said, remember they are general readings. Not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. For your key to the week this week, you have your card, the Devil card, right? So this is you showing up as yourself. This is not, I mean, not that you ever aren't, but this is a week for you to truly be your authentic self. This is a week for you to really stand firm in your own power and, more importantly, who you truly are. This also suggests as well that maybe some of you are getting a new obsession, right? And that's not always a bad thing. I talked at length about this, I think, in the Leo video this week. Obsession is not always unhealthy. Sometimes you can get obsessed with finally losing that weight, or you can get obsessed with finally making going back to school, or getting obsessed with a subject that you absolutely love so that you can learn every aspect of it. These are the beautiful traits of the Devil card and Capricorn, actually. That ability to focus on something until you get it just right. That ability to say, okay, this may not be how I want it now, but I'm willing to do the work in order to get it there, which is fantastic. I like this, right? This is you showing up as yourself, and maybe for some of you showing up for yourself. Where is it that you need to be either a little bit more outspoken, or where is it that your argument is strongest? With that said, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. And if you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your actions and options, you have the 7 of Cups. Try not to spin off in too many different directions this week, right? I think it's great that you're really, gathering some more dynamic energy, which is great. I just don't think doing all the things all the time is going to be the right way forward. It is the 7 of Cups after all. So this card sometimes can tell us that less really is more, all right? And then you've got this coupled with the Devil card. This could be maybe some self-confusion. This could be maybe you're trying to convince yourself this week as well, well, I'm doing all of this really well and I'm totally obsessed with this, so let's add something else. Is that really the best course of action at this moment in time? I'm asking you to ask yourself, all right? For your communications and conversations, you have the 10 of Wands, and you've got this underneath the Devil card. I actually think Leo had this same combination of cards in these positions, and the message that I gave them was a refusal to hear something, all right? And I wonder if this week, maybe, just maybe, you stubborn, no, never. I wonder if there's something that you're refusing to hear because you know it's right, or maybe someone's calling you out on, I don't know, adding another, let's say you're, just as an example, let's say you've decided I'm going to put on a food stall and you've already got something like 30 different items to offer. And then you're like, oh yeah, and I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. And someone says to you, listen, you've already got plenty, like it's going to be overkill. And you're like, no, I know what I'm talking about. This could be one of those times where maybe someone's giving you advice to scale it back. And you're refusing to listen. It's like you've got a refusal to hear. You won't hear of it. I think it's great that you're really trying to do the most at whatever you're doing, because being out here doing the most is always the best way to be. According to me anyway. But sometimes we really do need to scale it back in order to give the best to what we already have going on. And this isn't something I should have to explain to a Capricorn. You guys tend to be really good at self-policing and policing everyone else as well. I saw a meme not too long ago that said, Mom, I want to go out to a party, and the parents' reply was, will there be any parents there? And the child had replied, no, but you know, there'll be two Capricorn teenagers, and they were like, fine, you can go. Like literally. That really made me laugh. But I wonder if this week it's almost like you're hell-bent on doing something. Like, no, I want to do all the things. You can do all the things, just not all at the same time. For those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, I would take a moment to consider where you probably need to course correct. It's because it feels like the same message. You know, this might be a moment where I've done this before. I remember, I think this was for the Uranus in Taurus videos. This was about 4 years ago at this point. And I had put out, so I'd done all of the recordings, and on one of them I'd completely got the house placement for that specific sign wrong. But when I tell you, like, I went for it, I was so passionate and and then literally I think it was like 2 minutes before I'd finished, I was like, I don't know if this is the right house, and then realized that I hadn't when I watched it back. This could be one of those things where you do something with the full force, and I'm like that, right? If I'm going to make a mistake, I'd sooner do it with the full force of my being than not. But this could be avoided, and you might not have to rewrite your entire thesis if someone's telling you, I don't think you're looking at this the right way, or maybe you've got an essay that's due and you're, you know, hell-bent on your argument and it's brilliant. And it might be, but it doesn't answer the question. This might be a time to consider where you need to course correct. For those of you that are employed, this may also be that, but it could just as easily be that your level of scrutiny is kind of sucking the air out of the room for others. And it's not a dig. It's just not everybody works to your standard, and it's something that you need to you know, that's part of the lesson that you're here to learn. Okay, it's been funny watching this play out with my my sister and my niece. Who my niece is now a teenager and my sister is a Capricorn. So they're Aries and Capricorn, and it's a very interesting dynamic to watch unfold for sure. So yeah, I wonder if this has an element of that. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, or people that work for themselves, where is it that your footing is not? I kind of feel like this might be a moment where you're maybe not making excuses, but you're putting on a brave front, where like maybe your foot placement isn't as solid as you would have everyone believe, and it's like you're so far into the facade that it's almost like you're refusing to let anybody see, like, actually I might need help at this point. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, give yourself a moment to really ask, like, what am I holding on to here that really is too heavy? Especially because the devil card's here, and it's like, you know, sometimes we carry something for so long, for so many years, that eventually we just kind of figure, like, you know, well, this is the way that things are. And then when we finally get a moment to put that down, it's like, wow, okay, life is a lot easier. This could be one of those weeks, and you know, there might be a temptation to hold on to it, because if we don't have it, who are we then? For your love and relations, you've got the Daughter of Cups. So this is the Page of Cups. This is love, relationships, and with the Page of Cups, this is a very love-based card. It's a very heart-based card. It's a lot of new energy. For those of you that are looking for romance, for those of you that are in the throes of romance or meeting someone this week, I would be a little bit cautious. You've got the Devil card. This person could maybe bring out the worst in you, but it could feel so damn good. This person could also, they could be a bit like a drug to you, right? Like there could be some obsession, there could be some, you know, it's just so intense, which is great, but it could, this has the potential to derail you. I'm just going to be honest. especially with the Seven of Cups in the actions and options. It's like you're not really seeing things as clear as you could be, because you're so focused on things being one way that you're kind of somewhere over here not necessarily seeing things the way that they really are. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, especially with the Ten of Wands here, this could really be some headway that is made in a partnership, providing you're willing to listen. Something to talk about. For your money and materials, you've got the Emperor card. So when it comes to money, finances, resources, that whole sort of energy, the Emperor is really asking you to get a hold of the finances. This is about really figuring out if you want to make changes, what are the things that you can control, that you can be aware of or in charge of now, that will make that difference, if that makes sense. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is going to be your head, your noggin, and your, all of this part of the face as well. With that Ten of Wands, I'm almost loath to say, if you're having consistent, I'm not a doctor, can't give you medical advice, but I'm almost loath to say, if you're having challenges or issues this week with headaches, check your footwear. Check your footwear. Maybe go to a chiropractor or somebody who works with the structure of the body to see if, because sometimes that kind of thing, or even like if the hips are out of alignment, that all transmits upward, right? And your head could take the brunt of it. So get that seen to. And then for your physical, for your home and environment, the Emperor as a home and environment card, this is king of the castle sort of stuff. King or queen or person of the castle. And this week, maybe, just maybe, when it comes to the home, you're having to pull some kind of rank. Fair play. If you need to, go for it. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.